All right. I think I should be good. Yeah, all right.
So we looking at
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at this camera here. So let's just take a moment of silence and then go and kick us off.
So how's it going, YouTube? No, what's good, YouTube?
Right.
What's good, YouTube?
What's good, YouTube?
Charles Hawkins.
Ozzy Cargyle, and we're the MiMs. We're the Majestic increaser of my strength. We're coming to you at a time in the world where things are changing. Things are changing rapidly. 2020 showed us things that we had only seen in movies, and now they're commonplace. So a lot of people are trying to make sense of everything. They're trying to make sense of consciousness. They're trying to make sense of morality. They're trying to make sense of religion in the modern world. They're trying to make sense of technology. They're trying to make sense of metaphysics, racial tensions, systemic racism, police brutality. The list goes on and on and on and on. And what we're bringing to you guys is a way to look at the world that allows you to see beyond the veil of things. We're going to take you into the inside of the game of life. It's an extraordinary journey, and it's going to be rooted in the principles of science. It's going to be rooted in the principles of spirituality, but it's going to be woke. It's going to be real. It's going to be an exciting journey. That's what this channel is really about.
Right, just kind of going into a lot of the things that we learned in our relationship, because we had a pretty amazing relationship that covered a lot of those topics. Mm-hmm. And from a more philosophical and metaphysical perspective, that's always sort of been our journey, and even around all the concepts you mentioned that people are grappling with now during the pandemic and in this sort of this quarantine-like state of self-reflection, mm-hmm. having to look at ourselves, having to introspect and sort of look at our own system and look at the systems that we are a part of. And that has been a crazy road for a lot of people.
Yeah. How
do they adjust and what to trust? And, and how do we navigate this new world? And that's really what we're coming to bring, like this perspective on how to navigate this new world, how to navigate the age of Aquarius, how to navigate after seeing everything that happened in 2020, moving into 2021, moving into the future. We want to sort of clear up the air around a lot of those topics and provide a fresh perspective.
And there's a huge emphasis on having a coherent perspective, or what we would call a coherent worldview. Right. So for us, it's the Laws of Consciousness. It's a book that we wrote which explored so many things, but really centered around the idea of consciousness, the nature of reality, the nature of perception. What does it mean to exist in this existence? Is it just physical? Is it all spiritual? It's consciousness. And so when you come to this subject, there's a lot of murkiness. But really what we're going to be teaching here is a school of thought, a way to look at the world, a perceptive awareness that allows you to marry scientific mindset with spiritual mindset, that allows you to look at social and systemic issues also from the lens of something that is exploratory, where there are no boundaries and it's not about the rules. And how do you look at the world that has so many different ways of looking at things, but have a way to center yourself in that conversation? That's really what people are lacking. People get caught up in ideologies of extreme natures, and they don't know where to meet each other in the middle, because a lot of times, how many times have you been in a debate and you end up arguing, well, what is the reality? Well, what does that word mean? A lot of times, these discussions, they reduce themselves to semantical arguments. And really what you find is people are arguing, well, what does it even mean to really think through an issue? How do you know you have the truth?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is there a place for faith? Is there a place for a perspective that's not your own? You know, what are the reins of reality that we're going to be using to direct our lives and manifest, you know, what we want out of life? And we're very fortunate to have achieved a certainty in life, not just in terms of consciousness, but also in terms of our relationship, also in terms of our message for the world and the way that we relate to our internal circle. So what you're going to be getting here is what our friends have been getting. You know, this is what our social media accounts have been getting. But I feel like, you know, it's going to be much bigger than that. This is our chance to come to the world and show you what the M's are about.
Right, it's going to be a examination of the truth, and the journey of it will be that it can be explorative. It's going to be romantic sometimes. It's going to be us talking about topics that are going on in the world, right. Topics that apply to the world, topics that we're all collectively figuring out, topics that we're all collectively addressing. This age of coming together as a people, and how do we organize our mind so that we can optimize it and make it the most efficient for the task that we know we have at hand. And laws of consciousness gives that. It gives a sort of organized system of consciousness.
Yes.
To something that's so often nebulous in the eyes of a lot of the media, and our lives that are probably and can be a bit mysterious and somewhat confusing even for a lot of people. But the book sort of gives this amazing breakdown and clarity of truth around what is self-perception and sort of the aspects of consciousness that can give us that.
Yes. So you definitely want to get a copy of the book. It's on Amazon. Link will be in the description. You want to get the book. You want to be reading the book along with us, because we're going to get into some deep shit. But it's going to be fun too. You know, we might review some movies. Right? We might bring on some of our friends and just talk about, you know, these. You know, it's an invitation to an entire lifestyle. And a lifestyle that is awake, a lifestyle that is aware, but a lifestyle that is free. And navigating a world that is sleep and anything but free. You know, this is our gift to the world. So, you know, welcome to our channel, and
we look forward to establishing a relationship with you guys. We look for y'all to see into our world and get a chance to see how the M's do it, see how the M's look at it, and learn from that. Hopefully take something away from that, change your life in a way, become a more conscious person.
Yes.